We're good. We're live. How are y'all doing? Cameron Moss, Low Carb Mama here on this beautiful Thursday. I am coming to talk to you about something that's been on my mind the last couple days, like 1 or 2 days. And I really just wanted to come talk about it because I think it's super, super important. It's a super important conversation to have. And I wanted to go ahead and just shed some light on it and have a conversation about it. This is something that it's actually a huge conversation, and I'm not really gonna get too big into the whole diet culture thing, but this is something that really rose a flag that I was like, this is what people deal with. So if you have not been following my journey at all and you don't know anything about it and you've maybe just stumbled across some of my recipes, most of the recipes that I share are keto or low carb, usually low carb. I don't ever search like keto recipes and make those recipes. However, some of the recipes that I find are low carb. I personally have been on a journey for the last 7.5 years that consists of low carb, intermittent fasting, and a drink that puts me in ketosis within 30 minutes or less. And when I started that journey, I was carrying around extra baby weight. My health was not in a great place. I had some autoimmune challenges that I was faced with that caused me really low energy, poor diet. I was eating things that I didn't know were making it worse. And I was tired all the time, but I was still very high functioning as a business owner and a mom. So I was kind of in this rat race of survival and never super overweight, but still carrying around some extra, and I needed to drop off about 3 pant sizes, which is exactly what I did when I started this process, which I actually started. Let me back up a little bit. I started with the drink that I mentioned as a way to have more energy, and the drink ended up triggering some other changes, such as going low carb, intermittent fasting, and really low to no sugar for the most part. Now, I operate on kind of an 80-20 rule, so anything that you hear me talk about with that is 80-20 or maybe 90-10. It just depends on the week, the month, and kind of what's going on and where my head is at. But nonetheless, it started with a drink. It turned into making some dietary changes, which led to me seeing how much better I felt when I was making these dietary changes. And this drink that I was drinking was an amazing tool to help with appetite suppression and cravings. So all of that tied together to create what my current plan is that I follow. And it's been amazing for me. And most importantly, and I know a lot of you will relate to this because you've probably done a lot of the yo-yoing, is that I have followed this plan for 7.5 years and still have the same results that I achieved within my first 12 weeks, which I was ecstatic about. So that is huge. Now, how does this tie into diet shaming? So as I mentioned, I do about an 80-20 thing, right? So I do, and it's probably more like 85-15, but I don't count because I'm not a counter, which is the same reason I've never desired to do keto. Hey Veronica, how are you? So that's why I've never done keto, because I don't want to count a bunch of crap. Like, I want to do low carb, which to me, I have a very easy standard for that, a rule, if you will, that I follow is it stay away from the 5 whites: bread, rice, pasta, potato, and sugar. And I stay away from those things the majority of the time. And if I go to a Mexican restaurant, I'm gonna have chips and salsa, and I may even have a tortilla, possibly. Although, no, chips and salsa do it for me, and then I would just get like fajita with no tortilla and just eat the meat with cheese and the sides, whatever sides, right? Like that's exactly how I would order. If I go to a restaurant, I'm gonna get a salad, I'm gonna get a burger with no bread, and I'll get like a side salad, right? And then, but if there's croutons on the salad, I may eat a crouton, and that's okay. That's the way I operate, but I'm not eating the fries and bread, right? So that's kind of how I follow my plan. And there are things from my past life before this health journey that I enjoyed that I still want to enjoy. Okay, so, and I do, and that's why I have that, whatever it is, 85-15 rule, which means that 85 or 90% of the time I'm following this plan, and by no means am I gonna condemn myself for the 10% of the time that I enjoy something that's off plan, as I would say, okay? So last week, or the other day, I made a dish that had pasta in it, and I shared it as a recipe because I'm also very passionate about sharing foods that I think are good family foods. I think I really hate the idea of kids just eating frozen fruit every day or cereal for dinner and things like that. And that's not a judgment thing. And I don't condone it. Like, I'm not shaming anyone who feeds their kids that, but if I can share ideas of food that maybe a mom goes, oh, this looks good, I'm gonna make this for my family tonight, and now her kids get a home cooked meal, and normally they wouldn't, but it was something that she stumbled across that she looked like she might wanna make. I love that. Like, that's part of my passion. And sometimes those recipes aren't gonna be low carb or keto. And that was the case with my dish the other day that was kind of like what I considered a lasagna, but it's like a penne lasagna. So I made this dish and I posted it, and I caught a lot of slack from it, from people telling me that I need to change the name of my pages because they have, you know, the word keto or low carb, and this wasn't a keto or low carb recipe. People private messaging me, like, just really being mean about it. And here's the thing, like, if you're gonna be online as a creator, you already know anything you post, people are gonna pick it apart. So it's by no means is it something that bothers me, but the part of it that bothers me is that people think it's okay to shame people for choices that they make in their dietary track or plan. If somebody wants to enjoy a pasta dish with their family on one day of the week, I think that's perfectly fine. And I think it's more important that they're having a family time together and eating a good full circle meal than them going off plan for a day. So I just wanted to put this out there because, number one, I want people who are following me to know this, whether it's on my Low Carb Mama page or my personal page that you follow, or you follow my recipes on TikTok or wherever it's at. I want you to know that I am not the creator for you. If you're looking for somebody who is just super, super strict low carb, like that's all they're gonna post and it's gonna tell you how many macros it has and how many of everything else, that's not gonna come from me, because that's not the way that my lifestyle goes, and I share what we do in my house and what works for me and for my family. So I personally feel like that is something that people can follow so much better, and that will help people do the same thing that it's helped me do, which is keep something going for a long time and feel really amazing and have your health in the best state that it's ever been, and be following a path that you know works for you, so that you don't have to go through the rat race of like, oh, what diet am I gonna do? What medicine am I gonna get on? What shot am I gonna do? What am I gonna do to lose weight? No, that's not what it's about. It's about finding an eating plan that works for you, and maybe a tool that's gonna help support it, which for me, I don't know if I would be successful at my plan that I follow without my drink that puts me in ketosis, right? Like, that helps immensely. It keeps my body in fat burning mode. It keeps me feeling good. It keeps my energy good. It keeps my appetite suppressed. It keeps my cravings away. So for me, that's huge. And that's like my whole plan that I know. And with that comes intermittent fasting and a focus on hydration. And my encouragement to you, if you're someone who's new on a journey, or you're trying to figure it out, or you know you need to get started, is when you make your decision on where you're going to even start, is have that mindset of knowing that you want to find something that's going to equal sustainability, like get you results, but then help you sustain that and help you make it a lifestyle. Because a lot of the things that people do for quick, weight loss, if you will, it's not a lifestyle. It's a very fly by night. It's fast. You may drop a bunch of weight, but the question is, how are you going to sustain that beyond that whenever you don't have that same thing that maybe helped you achieve that? So with that said, I do have a Better Life Blueprint that I put together, and it's really based off what I do. It's based off what I share with people that I do, because I very much think that there's not one set plan for everyone. I feel like you have to find what works for you. But this includes my tips, hacks, habits that I've used and adopted and used and shared and seen work so well in other people throughout this journey that I've been on for myself and with coaching others. So it's everything from intermittent fasting to movement, my favorite 20-minute workouts, my mindset stuff that I do. So I would love to share that with you. If you want that, you can actually just comment Blueprint and I'll send it to you. It's It's just gonna come right through your inbox and Messenger. It's super easy to access, and that's it. Like, it's just my gift to anyone who wants better and wants more. It's literally the Bible of what I have followed over these years, and it's something that I would do again a million times, and I'm so grateful because I was that person who had tried everything and done everything from acupuncture to shots to diet pills to every diet to juicing to you name it, fish every day for dinner. Like, I did it all. So this has by far been the best, most sustainable, most enjoyable, most I don't ever want to do anything different. And it's because of, number one, the enjoyable foods that are part of just this low carb and the ability to make delicious foods low carb, which is what 99% of my content is about. But also to know that when I want to have a dish that is something that's off plan, then I can do that and I can enjoy it guilt-free. And you can too. So drop Blueprint if you want the Blueprint. I would love to share that with you. And yeah, I hope that helps. Any feedback you have, feel free to share it in the comments. Would love the communication, and I hope you're well, and I wish you the best on your journey. And if there's anything I can do to support, let me know. If you want to know more about the drink that I mentioned, you can also just drop magic in the comments, and I'll send you some info over. So with that, I'll see you next time. Bye, y'all.